I'm Caleb.
I'm Haley.
And now I'm having
coffee with my ex.
Welcome back. Hopefully this episode will be a little bit easier to listen to because we are eating the microphones.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the setup, so just be patient with us. Also, Patrick Starr is doing a thing in the same building, and they and they are loud. So if you hear them, I apologize. For Patrick Starr.
We walked in and they had like a giant production truck and like a whole like safety crew and everything, and I am walking in with an old bag of broken lights. I'm just like, we are in different places in life.
Like this whole place is rented out.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of different studios here.
Even when we rented out the studio for Active Booty, we had one photographer and one makeup girl. And I was like...
in one section. They have like multiple sections right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. It's just like getting to afford a makeup artist was like, we're really pushing the limits here.
And a photographer for the same shoot.
Which we can never do again.
Oh, we could never do again. We have to do everything by ourselves.
Are we doing something wrong?
No, I just think we're cheap.
We're also not in Sephora.
Yeah. Right.
That does play a part into it. But we're not talking about Sephora because we love Ulta here.
Yes, we do love Ulta here.
Because Haley is, I'm sure you've seen, an Ulta Beauty girl.
What a time to be alive.
Ulta Beauty Collective.
Yes. And this is a great leeway into the topic today because I am now getting so many products from Ulta, which I get sent some products, but I've never really been one to receive a lot of makeup products. I usually receive like skincare or clothing. Like that's literally the extent of it. Mm-hmm. And now being with Ulta, they give my address to a bunch of different brands. And so I literally...
Like real big brands.
So I literally am like getting all of these like different packages, and my space, like nothing is organized.
Her apartment's massive.
It's not it's literally not massive. You keep saying that to people, and whenever people come over, they're going to expect a castle at this point.
Your living room is a castle.
That is literally not true. I live in a less than 1,000 square feet apartment.
You are kissing 1,000 square feet.
And like anyone else in any part of the United States to be like, you're living in are you okay?
I'm like, no, that's massive.
It is. It's big, but like he talks about it like a castle.
Because I have a 2-bedroom and it's a little over 1,000 square feet, and her 1-bedroom is about 1,000 square feet, and so that's why I'm like,
I would rather have a smaller living room and have a second bedroom.
That's fair.
But then I would just put all this extra stuff that I have in my living room in that bedroom, so it's all the same. But at least it'd be separate.
So you're out of room.
I'm out of room, and so I needed yesterday, I purged so many old, expired, like hair care, skincare, makeup to make room for all my incoming stuff, because like and obviously, number one, I'm not gonna be able to use everything, and so like I wanted to have space to like separate it to what I can donate, what I'm gonna give to friends, and like what I'm actually going to try to use, because it's just impossible to use all the products.
Doesn't it feel so awful when you throw away skincare and you remember like how much it used to cost, like how you were like, I have to save my money for this cleanser.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, not gonna use it.
I found a bunch of like old PCA stuff that was expired that I had no idea expired. I didn't know that skincare had expired.
Yeah.
So that really sucked.
Well, because makeup expires in like 6 months.
It depends on like if it's like liquid or powder, or like it just depends on like what kind of makeup.
I'll tell you what, I am using the same bronzer palette that I bought in 2017 when we moved here.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that. Also, I threw away almost every single one of my palettes, like the Naked palettes, all of my Urban Decay palettes, all of my Anastasia palettes. I threw them away because they were fucking old. They were like my Naked palette was literally like pushing 10 years old. Like,
honey, there's so many microbes in that.
No, I know, and I haven't touched it in years,
Yeah.
and so there's so many things I threw away. Like, wow, like I really spent my money on that, and I'm just throwing it away. But that's life. I just want to be more intentional about the things that I decide to keep and give away. But anyway, that leads us to the topic of spring cleaning /
Well, here, I'm gonna move my mic a bit so I can like look at you.
spring cleaning / like moving is what Caleb wanted to talk
Well,
about today.
Here's the deal. So today, now it's not a secret. Allison Floria is making the move across the country.
I feel like she
Her
doesn't.
boss knows.
Oh, that's why it was.
That
a
was the
secret.
big deal. Yeah. So not like, and also she assumes that everyone like, no, who listens to this podcast that she like. No, TCC is not listening to this podcast. And if they
I don't know.
If they are, thank you for the check that we got for the opening event that one time. It was a great event. They're a good event. But yeah, Allison is driving from Indiana to California.
She's literally getting in today.
She's getting in 5 hours, Cameron said. Like, he was home when I walked in because I forgot the SD cards for the camera today. So I ran back to the apartment.
And he blamed it on me.
I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, thought that it was you.
We think a lot of things.
We do think a lot of things. So I ran home, and Cameron had like the Febreze Unstoppables and was literally like dousing the apartment.
Why? As if Allison's never been there.
Because it's like it's going to be her home now, and which is also our office. And so it's like he just really doesn't want her to like feel like she made a huge mistake.
She's going to walk in and immediately be like, I made a huge mistake. I just know it.
She FaceTimed me last night at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm over it.
That's the thing. That's what's so funny about Allison. Like she wants to move and like it's fine, but she will complain the whole way.
And she will remind you, I'm doing this for you. She told me that she had a really teary goodbye with her family. She said that she was like leaving. She hung out with her family, and then like she was leaving, and her nephew started crying, and so the whole family started crying, and then she pulled away crying, and then she remembered she didn't say goodbye to her dog, so she pulled around and went back and said goodbye to her and cried again. So It's just been dramatic. So today I thought we could talk about just moving, because I think we've all experienced that so much in our lives, and I think it's one of the it's something that just ties humanity together, I would say.
Yeah. Then why did you put spring cleaning in the notes?
Well, because it's all a part of it. I just thought we could get there at some point, because also the seasons are changing. It's beginning to be spring.
Yeah.
People are starting to get vaccinated, and with vaccinations comes spring cleaning.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying. I did my spring cleaning last night, and I have so much more space.
So you subscribe to spring cleaning?
Oh, absolutely. I love to purge things. I'm just like, throw it away.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
But why is it spring that people decide to clean?
Because like you're just like in the winter, you're kind of in your home, and for a lot of people who are like in colder climates, like you're in your home, you're like hibernating in your home, and you just like notice like little clutters here and there. When it's like spring outside, and you have the windows open, and like
little pep in your step.
Yeah, you have a little pep in your step. You have some serotonin going for you, and so you just want to you look around and you're like, wow, I've been literally hibernating in my home. I need to get my shit together. That's exactly what happened. I feel
like post-pandemic is going to be the most intense spring cleaning.
Well, I think a lot of people, they started the pandemic doing the cleaning. Remember how everyone was like, I'm cleaning everything, and then we all just like fell out of it, and so people are definitely going to be like post-pandemic clean freaks.
I cannot. I mean, I feel like I wait about 2 weeks or maybe a month, but between like deep cleanings, and then I just get to a point where I it's a switch that flips, and I look at my bathtub and I'm like, you filthy piece of shit, how can you shower in that? What are you gonna do about it? Look at that lime scale, that pink stuff growing in the side, and then I just freak out, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I just shut down, and then like basically scream at Cameron until he cleans it, and then like
that must be nice. I have myself.
I mean, like, I do it. He's taught me. Here's the thing. I did not learn how to clean toilets until this year.
Guys, this is what they do to boys growing up. They don't make them do anything.
No, my mom's a monster. She made me do a lot of stuff.
Clearly not.
But you know what?
Because I'd be cleaning them toilets when I was growing up.
And I'll get to this with my intention for the week, but when I was in therapy, I realized that when you have anxiety, your brain doesn't allow you to make memories. So everything my mom taught me, I don't remember because I was so terrified the whole time.
No, you're talking to the queen of that situation.
Yeah, but you have coping skills.
Are you kidding me? I don't remember anything about my childhood.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I learned how to clean, but it's just like Cameron, I don't know why, but the idea of cleaning a toilet seems impossible to me. And he was just like, you take the
really
cleaner,
not
you
that
put it
bad.
around the toilet bowl, you flush it, and then you take the little plunger thingy. It's just gross to me. I'm like,
I mean, it's not like glamorous.
It's just like, why do I want to take a dirty little scrubber and put it in the toilet and then take it out? And then
So your toilet's not fucking dirty.
No. I know, it's just this.
Exactly. Yeah,
you
got no basis on what you're saying.
I don't even know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I am not great at cleaning, but
It's not an excuse. I hate this is what you're doing the other day, is packing active booty orders. You pretend to be so bad at these things, so then no one trusts you with it, and then you get out of it.
You think
yesterday we were packing active booty orders, which launches on March 5th, by the way. This will be out by that time. So we'll have that link down below just in case, and also merch that he's wearing. He was fucking up all of the orders, just taking for his sweet time. And Cameron was like trying to be as patient as possible with him, and he was so bad at it. He was like, just go do something else.
You know what? It's so sad that you think that I'm trying to
There's
to be
no
bad.
other explanation.
My brain is not wired properly, and I swear to God, when I'm doing it, it feels like I was looking at my hands, and it's like my hands are just Play-Doh, and I have absolutely no idea.
Acid.
Maybe. I swear to you, I had no idea how to pack those orders, and Cameron just sent me away, and I just felt so stupid, like a little child. And
I think you felt lucky.
I mean, did I mind? No. But like, what do I wish I could have been competent enough to do that? Yes. Anyways, packing orders did not go well. What are we talking about? Moving. So Allison's moving from Indiana to California, and she is getting here today. And so that sparked the interest. So for me, I want to ask you initially, when I say the word moving, what comes to your mind?
Literal, just heart-wrenching stress, sleepless nights, sweaty.
Yes.
Boxes, losing things, but also purging everything, just throwing away perfectly good pieces of furniture because you don't want to carry it.
Just sending it out on the curb, be like, free.
So fucking take it. This is my first apartment I've ever lived in, the place that I have stayed since I started college when I was 18. I have moved every single year.
Well, that was another question I was going to ask, is how many moves have you done?
Caleb, it's uncountable the amount of moves I have made.
So you moved from...
So even growing up, we moved a lot until my mom bought a house. Like we moved a lot. Like it was all the time. And it wasn't until I was like 3 or 4 that she bought the house that I grew up in. And she was like, we're fucking staying. Because she moved around a lot when she was younger too. And she hated it. Like, it's like one of those things, like, when you moved a lot, when you're like, you remember when like on Neely, when you used to do this? Or you remember like on Marsh? Like, that's how you categorize your memories. It's like, you know what I mean? Like the streets you lived on.
Yes.
And so that's when you know.
So as an adult, you went to Sarah's. And then you moved to... Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State and then Sarah's. And then I've lived in the dorms. I lived in a different place every single year of college. Then I moved a couple times like while I was living in Indiana, and then I moved to LA, and I moved every single year.
That's the thing. You moved a couple times in Indiana too after college.
Yeah.
So you've moved probably like 8 times?
Caleb, it's uncountable. And then I've moved every single year in California since I lived here, except for this year.
That is wild to me. And I was just filling out like a form for something, and it asked me all of my previous addresses. And I was like, how is that normal to like know all of your old addresses?
Absolutely not. Every time I have to think about an old address, like for taxes or whatever, I have to go to my Amazon. Look out where I used to live.
I don't know how people remember.
I can't remember.
And then I just feel like, oh, you're just like not stable. Like you've never had
like every time, like especially like back in like a couple years ago, like every time I would try to apply for credit or like do anything to verify my identity, they're like, you're sketchy.
They're like, we don't trust you.
We don't trust you. You have too many addresses listed on everything.
It looks like you're on the run.
I felt like I was on the run.
Sometimes you were. Yeah, I think I moved. Wait, so I was at my mom's, then I moved in with my boyfriend, and then college, dorm, another house, back to the dorm.
The fact that you went back to the dorm is so
No,
funny.
that was for junior year. I went freshman year, moved to a house sophomore year. No, freshman and sophomore year were in a dorm. Junior year was in a house. Senior year was in a house, and then I moved into another house because that one burned down.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think 5.
But then you moved that back into the dorms.
Then I moved back into the dorms.
With Cameron?
Then
And you were like what, like 23?
22. Brushing my teeth with freshmen.
Like you were graduated.
I was graduated living in the dorm with Cameron.
That is.
Do you know what it's like?
I
being
would never.
22,
I would
waking
never.
up next to a 18-year-old boy who's like, rough night. I felt like a failure.
You should.
Anyways. You know what?
What?
I just remember I remember brushing my teeth in the mirror and just being like, what have you done with your life?
Like brushing your teeth is such a reflective moment, and I couldn't imagine. Like you're just like you have nothing to do but think.
Is this who I am?
Is this what I represent?
So that was 6, and then I moved into Cameron's mom's house.
That was a time.
Yeah, and you also were there quite a bit.
I was there quite a bit.
And then back to Bloomington. And then LA to our show house, and then the apartment, and then this is my 11th place as an adult. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like
Comes
I'm
at you
sorry.
quick.
That's probably I just went over my whole moving history. That's awful.
Yeah.
Now, when you are moving, do you get movers, or do you believe in friends?
I first of all have done most of the moving on my own. I think since I moved to LA, you have helped with
Your
the
fridge.
big stuff.
I'll never forget that. That's burnt, and that's something I will never
I wasn't
ever
even there.
forget the feeling that I had moving your fridge.
I'm just one wee girl.
And that's your excuse.
It's true. It's true. But wait, what was the question? Oh, would I okay, I know that now in my adult life, knowing that I don't have time for this shit to fucking move. I don't have the time, the will, the energy, the patience, the care,
Wow.
the
tenacity.
need. I have none of it. I don't care how much it is. I will spend my last dime on movers before I physically have to move my stuff again.
Which you haven't done yet.
I've never done it.
Same.
And I look forward to the day.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's being an adult, getting older, or getting
My back can't
more
handle
money.
it.
But
It's all of it.
I will never subject myself to that again.
I will never just carrying boxes, especially in a fucking apartment, carrying boxes up and down and across and into the parking lot and got to pull a car around and there's traffic and
You know what's so messed up is if you're in an apartment, you need movers more than anyone.
Yeah.
More than anyone in a house. But if you're in an apartment, you can probably not afford it.
right.
So that's what's so annoying. And also being from the Midwest, getting movers is that's for rich people. Just get your friends to do it.
Or get a U-Haul and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because in that situation, it's just
I don't know anyone who
it's
got
so
movers.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. And also.
And you could park on the street. It's little things like
what
that.
a luxury. What a luxury. It's those little Midwest things that it's just you don't pay for those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely will from now on. I think moving is asking friends to do it. When someone asks me to move, it's that you are asking me for the ultimate favor. That is we are so close, and you are also willing to move down a few pegs and have the little negative friendship bars go over your head. Because you will lose points with me. I will do it. I will be your friend. I understand you need my help.
Oh, I'm getting my favor back.
I will think less of you.
Well, I will cash that in. It's all about the exchange. I will cash in those coins.
I have not cashed in my fridge coin.
What the hell are you talking about?
When
I
I
do
moved your
everything
fridge?
for you.
What
I
have
do
you done?
I do everything for
If
you.
you think then show me the receipt where I cashed that coin in, because I still have it.
I do everything for you every day.
Okay, well, let's move on. Do you have? Is there a favorite / least favorite move that you have?
I'll start with my least favorite.
Okay.
My least favorite move was moving from the house, in like the house we did for the show to our Hollywood apartment. Because it was about 110 degrees outside, and it was just me, Cameron, and Bria. You were at some like shoot, and then you quote unquote got a flat tire. Quote unquote got a flat tire, and so all of our stuff, mine, yours, what?
I was just thinking.
Mine, yours, Cameron, and Bria's stuff was all in like one thing. And we had to park this big ass truck in the middle. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, we lived, imagine like Hollywood Boulevard. That's where I lived. Like, I lived right beside Madame Tussauds.
Could not pick a worse place.
I could not. Like, it was crazy. Like, if you know anything about LA, I lived right by the Magic Castle and Madame Tussauds. Like, that's not right. I lived right beside where they did the Starline tours. That's not okay.
It's like walking out, taking the trash out, and like the Star bus is going past.
Literally every single day. And we lived on the 3rd floor. The elevator was really small, and so we pretty much
I moved something up there with you, didn't I?
The couch. That wasn't even heavy.
I have another chip to use. Not only did I have to move the couch into your apartment, I had to go pick up the couch from that apartment that had dimensions that didn't make sense. Those doors were too small.
Anyways, that was my least favorite move because it was so hot.
I've never asked you to do anything.
That's literally not true. I'm going to think about everything you asked me to do all the time.
Anything laborious.
What does laborious mean?
Using your muscles.
Okay, well, you claim to be this fucking fitness guy. Fucking let me see it then. Prove yourself.
That is gaslighting. My least favorite move. No, I'll go with my favorite move first.
I didn't get to say my favorite move, but I'll do it next.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I don't know.
My favorite move, I would say, was moving from Indiana to my first like college dorm room. Because that's when I first got to escape my mother's claws. And no, I'm just kidding. I mean, it was just such a freeing feeling.
Yeah.
That was like, I am independent. I can do whatever I want. I can clean this or not clean this. It was just, I felt like I was going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And I just remember that was so exciting. And I was too excited to care about the moving process. And also everyone was helping me. And so I didn't have to like, it just wasn't that real. Like my bed was there. I brought sheets. I had to bring like little plastic things. It was like the most like prissy move I've ever done.
Yeah.
Least favorite move was when I had an awful roommate situation and had to end up moving out of my apartment like in the middle of a big fight. Like it was so bad, and I was just like, I have to leave in the middle of the lease.
Yeah.
And Cameron's stepdad came and like helped us move things out. Rob came and helped us move things out. Like my best friends, like while literally my roommates are like sitting in the living room watching TV, pretending not to see me.
Like pretending you don't exist.
It was, I mean, like I'll never forget that feeling.
The energy was not it.
It was the most toxic energy I can ever think of. I mean, like, and since like the situation's like evolved and like we've patched things up, but I just could never. It's just like moving is awful, but then when you're moving out of like a bad situation,
yeah,
just when there's bad energy in the room, and like it's
something.
Yeah.
Well, what was your favorite move?
Well, at the college.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
What was my favorite move? I think honestly moving into the apartment that I have now, because I really didn't have that much like stuff because I ended up throwing a lot of it like out.
Yeah. And
so like for my first
fridge.
Yeah, the fridge, the couch, the fridge and the couch, like they I just threw them away. Well, that couch served me well. I got it off Facebook Marketplace for $50.
That was like a magic couch.
Yeah.
Something about it was like, this has seen things.
But I think that my apartment that I have now, which I was kind of like apartment hunting like a few weeks ago, and it's really hard to find an apartment better than mine. Mm-hmm. And so, especially with it being rent controlled. And so it was just like one of those apartments that I walked in and I was just like, this feels like I could stay here for a while. Mm-hmm. And so that was like I was
Stay a
excited.
while.
Stay a while. So I was excited to move in. Like
Yeah.
I was excited that I had, especially coming from like where I was, like my apartment before that was like half the size. With there's two of us.
Yeah.
And so like,
You like had room to breathe in this one.
yeah.
And like do it how you wanted it.
Yeah.
And like you had more like, I just feel
Like
like
I knew I was going to stay for a while.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I took my time putting it together. Like it's taken me a long time to like decorate it.
Yeah.
How I wanted it to be.
Well, that was
decorated.
another question is how do you, since we're both renters, how do you make an apartment still, hopefully not for long. How do you make an apartment a home, or do you make it your home, or do you view it as like, this is my temporary home?
I think it really just depends on like where, like how long do you see yourself staying there? And this is why I take such pride and care about like my space, because I think that making your place feel like a home, no matter what it is really good, especially at least for me, my mental health, because I'm not only a homebody, but my mood directly reflects my environment. Like if something is like messy or like ugly, like I feel like disorganized and like stressed. And so it's nice to like that I like how my apartment is like decorated with care, which takes also money.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I've ever had the money to decorate how I wanted to, which is something else that's big. But also TikTok has taught me a lot of inexpensive ways to decorate. But it's kind of like, you know what, I won't get all my deposit back. That's fine. At least I was happy while I was there.
Have you ever gotten a deposit back?
Yeah.
Nope.
But my deposit was really inexpensive, so I'm like not expecting to get it back anyway.
I have paid every time. I have paid to have it cleaned every time.
Really?
Just like holes or scratches or like, I swear to you, I could sneeze and they'd be like,
well, I
have to
also know
clean
how
that.
to like plaster shit and like cover up all my holes, and like I just paint it and stuff.
I need to do that.
I have some.
Okay. Cameron just got something off TikTok called the pink stuff. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
We haven't used it.
Yeah, that
But-
works. Especially since your walls are just drywall. They're not painted.
She's convinced that so I have white walls, so she's convinced that
I know,
it's
but it's
just
like,
drywall.
yeah, but it's like, you know the feeling of it. Unless it's like really,
It's
really
tender.
I mean, if you like so much as like flicked it, it would like come apart.
Dust. I had something to say. What were you talking about?
I was talking about decorating.
Oh yeah, I feel like I haven't ever truly made anything my home. I feel because I try and I'll spend money. Like my last apartment, like we bought like a $1,000 IKEA couch, and then it's gone. I think we sold it. We did sell
You
it
did sell it.
to my YouTube partner manager's sister on Facebook Marketplace. I had no idea it was her.
That's so funny.
But I feel like in like this apartment is the most homey it's ever been. Like putting a plant in the ceiling or like a screw in the ceiling. Like Cameron is like, we are not putting nails in our walls.
Yeah.
So just doing that was a huge step for us.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this place,
Plants hanging everywhere, just holes everywhere.
I feel like I've made this one more my home, but I feel like I've just always been in the mindset like I want a home. I want a home. I want a home. Like
Yeah.
even from like in college, I just have never seen anything as like I see myself staying in this place. I think that's what it is more. I'm never like, this is my spot. This is where I'm resting. I'm just like, this is another leaping pad. And
Yeah.
I think that's maybe just kept me sane because if I knew that I was going to have 11 homes, I don't think I would have made it.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. Like if my space doesn't feel cozy at least to me,
Yeah, it's
I'll
all
go
about
crazy.
to you.
and like especially like with having ADD, since my brain is so disorganized, seeing disorganization just amplifies it and makes it worse. So and I think that's too why I like very minimal, like basic clean things, because when I see that, it helps my brain feel calmer.
Yeah.
Because that's all I see and hear is chaos. But if I can see like just clean, basic, minimal stuff, it puts me at peace. So I think that's probably where my design aesthetic comes from.
Interesting.
But I can still refine it. It's not like I have a great design aesthetic. I think that's
It's
probably why I
evolved.
gravitate towards like simple.
Yeah. I'm like the exact opposite.
Yeah, you're eclectic.
I love just seeing different textures, lines, art. I love things.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have a great. I really am envious of your design aesthetic because you can see things the way you can just like organize a shelf. Like I come into her living room, and she has this like bookcase, and every single time I'll just like take a moment and just stare at it, and I'm like,
That's what
nothing
I love that.
on this bookcase is practical, but it looks so pretty.
That's not true.
You don't use a single thing on that bookshelf.
There's books on that bookshelf.
Do you read those books?
Yeah, I do.
And
I do. There's a record player on the bookshelf. I decorated the bookshelf with books.
It's too aesthetic.
Yeah, because I just like, I'm good at that.
But like, it's just, I can't imagine being like, yes, these are also the perfect reading books and the perfect looking books. And you also put them back perfectly like, to me, it looks like it's like all glued down. It's like not real. Like your shelves, how everything's like perfectly spaced and the potted plants and everything's like mismatched, but also matches perfectly.
I love that. That's my favorite shit.
And it just like annoys me. Because then all I do is think about the whole time at your apartment. Why can't I think like this? Why can't I see this vision? Why don't I have the energy to do it? And then I just get mad. So I think I just resent you a little bit.
I feel that resentment a lot of the time. You're like, yeah, her and her fucking really cute shelves. Fuck her.
Because I'm just like, me hanging a gold frame I got from Amazon with 3 pictures that you took was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It took everything out of me. Trying to level that photo of juice.
I literally have so many like holes in my wall just because I don't know how to measure anything. I just like put holes in my wall until it's right. It's so bad.
How do you get your device? I guess you just plaster it.
Yeah, like one of my shelves that I hung up, I had a really traumatic event happen to me when I was hanging up one of my IKEA shelves in my kitchen. They're like floating shelves. And it's like, and it was holding a lot of stuff. It was up and it was holding like a decent amount of stuff. But like while I was putting in the shelf, I had made multiple holes because it wasn't level. Mm-hmm. And then I had made so many holes in the same spot that eventually that whole chunk of like wall
gone, just
fucking collapsed, and everything on the shelf fell with it. And so like I had like mason jars, a tea kettle, like plants. I had all kinds of stuff, and it all just fell and just broke. And it was loud, and you know how I feel about loud noises. And it was traumatic, and I had to go to Home Depot at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was just not it.
Those shelves you expect a lot of them.
Yeah, I do. I get really scared. I like, if I'm not home for like a day or so, I'm like, I hope my shelves are still up.
I'm scared for your tittens. Like, they don't know what they're walking under.
They do.
Do they?
They saw it happen.
It's like right next to their food bowl. And I don't think Soph can make it out.
Stop.
I just don't think she can. So we already kind of touched on this. You've lived with, after your mom, you've lived with roommates your entire life.
Yes.
You've never like lived on your own.
This is my first time ever living on my own.
So first of all, have you had any bad roommate experiences?
Yes.
Are there any that you can share like ambiguously? Okay.
No, I'll name names. So it was my freshman year of college, and I had a random roommate, and she was like, imagine the exact opposite of me. And that was her. She was just...
What is the exact opposite of college Haley, though?
Right, like...
She went to class?
I mean, she went to class, but she was just like... She was... I'm probably more like her now than I was then.
Was she like uptight?
She wasn't uptight. She was just like a little off, a little weird. Just like very different than me.
Like brainy, or just like
not brainy. It's hard to describe. Just like we had no common interests.
Okay.
Not a single one.
That sucks.
But we got paired together, and she ended up getting this fucking annoying ass fucking boyfriend who was running around campus selling melatonin as Adderall. And I was like, you're gonna get like hurt but doing that. Like, you're gonna like, what are you doing? Like, you're so stupid. And he started like spending the night in our, like, it's a fucking dorm. Like, it's already 2 people living in a box. Like, he was literally staying in the dorm because he like didn't live in the area. He was just like there. You know
so
what?
he didn't go to that school.
No, he didn't go because I went
That's
to Ball State. He didn't go there.
illegal.
Caleb, you lived in the dorm when you went. And mind you, at this point, as we know from the last episode, I was a virgin for most of my freshman year of college.
Were they having sex in the room in front of you?
Wait for it. It was morning time. I was about to get up. I was actually about to get up to go to class. It was my 8 a.m. class. I was actually about to get up and go to class. And it's like 7 o'clock and they're like up, and they literally started having sex right next to me. Like our beds were not even like 7 feet apart. And there was like a nightstand in between us. And like that was it.
And they knew.
And
did they know
I was
you were
turned,
awake?
no, they didn't know. I was turned towards the wall and they're over here. And they literally started having sex and I froze. I froze. I didn't move. I
You were
stared the whole
assaulted.
time. And I was a virgin. I was like, what? I was so petrified.
That's bizarre to see it in person before you experience
But
it
like
in person.
I didn't see anything.
But
I just
just to, like,
heard
know
it.
it's
Yeah, I
happening.
was like, and I was like, I wanted to throw up. I was so disgusted. And then afterwards, they were like, wow, I can't believe she slept through that. And then I waited till they both left. I missed my class. And then I went straight to my, I was like, I didn't tell her what happened. My RA didn't tell her what happened. But I was like, I'm moving. And I literally, and then
Did they let you?
Well, they were like, no. And I got my stuff. And my friend Lauren, her roommate just moved out. And I was like, no, I'm moving. And I literally moved my stuff before they like approved it. I moved my stuff and I was just using their cards like to get into the bathroom or whatever until they eventually were like, okay, well, I guess she's moving. I was like, I'm fucking out of here.
That's crazy. I didn't know that happened to you.
Yeah, that was traumatic. Oh, and then when I was like getting my stuff, I just told Ashley, I was like, yeah, I have to move. Like it was really weird. Like I didn't tell her why. I was like, I had to move. And I had like this whole thing full of nail polish because I was obsessed with nail polish. And I had to go back and get that. Like that was like my last thing. And she happened to be there. And I had Margot come with me. And she was like, oh, like Jay was his name. Like, oh, I haven't heard from Jay like for like a days now. Like he's just like kind of gone missing. And then Margot was like, sounds like a winner. And then we left. And that was the last time I ever talked to her.
That's funny. I just can't imagine like someone that you know, like while you're sleeping, like having sex in the same room as you. It's just like that would scar you forever.
Caleb, shut.
The audacity. It's just like
Caleb,
some
you
people.
were passed out.
Some people, I guess, are just really fucking crazy.
But you wouldn't have seen us if you were to wake up.
And
You were on the bed.
That's what Jay thought. That's what Jay thought. You're a fucking hypocrite. And that's what hurt people.
Okay. What was the question?
Not that.
Oh,
Bad roommate situations.
Yeah, you have one.
I don't think I have any that I can speak to, really.
I can speak to it.
No. I don't know why I asked this question.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I had a roommate situation where I was really, really great friends with this person. Like for all of college, like ride or die, very, very close. We lived with him and his like partner and another girl at the time who we were all also friends with. And it was really, really great. Like genuinely the best times of my life. I smoked so much weed. I played lots of video games, Super Smash Brothers, and it was a great time. But when Cameron and I started dating, Cameron started coming over a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think and that's when also like the fitness marshal kind of started to like take off.
Yeah.
We started doing a lot of things. I feel like I started having kind of a separate life. Mm-hmm. And the energy just got like more and more like I was invading this space. And the more Cameron was there, it was like he was not paying rent. What is he doing here? They didn't like Cameron at all. Yeah. Like they hated Cameron. And then they ended up being like, he needs to pay rent if he's going to be here. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what the energy's about. So Cameron ended up like splitting the rent as well. And that energy just stayed. And it was just clear that like Cameron was not wanted. I was not really a part of this circle anymore. It was just, and I'm sure there are things that I did. Like I remember I like didn't take the trash out and like I forgot a few times. And I came back and from like, I think we were like on a trip for the weekend. Like we had a show and I forgot to take the trash out, but I was like what was I doing? I think I just bagged the trash, but I didn't actually take it out. And so I came back and the trash bag was sitting on my bed and it was there all weekend. So my room smelled like a garbage can. And that was like one of my roommates were like, yeah, like you didn't take the trash out. So I put it in your room. And it was like at that point I was just kind of like this, like there is no like, we're not like friends anymore. Like this is just like clear, like bad energy.
There are so many things. I lived with Margot and she used to be super fucking messy.
Yeah.
And we were real friends. There's in no world is that like a normal thing to do.
It just got really bad. So I had to literally, it just got to the point where I was like, I would rather move in with Cameron's family, like because I think it was like summertime and I was not in college. Cameron was now on break, so we were just like, yeah, we're gonna move back in with your mom because it's not worth living here anymore.
It was just when the few times that I had been there, I was so like the air was thick.
Yeah,
like you can sense it from like a mile away.
Yeah,
and that's just not something that you can like sustainably live in. And it's just fucking pitiful.
I was walking on eggshells every day. It was awful. I like shut myself in my room because that's the only place I felt like I could breathe.
And just like what? Just like I just couldn't imagine trying to make someone feel that way and considering and thinking that I'm like that's okay. Roll my fucking eyes.
So
I have a lot of strong feelings about that. More strong than Caleb, I think.
Well, we did have like a makeup and we like were able to talk it out years later. And so I'm glad that we got that. I don't know how things are exactly now. Like we're not really close, but we did have a resolution. So I don't want to like, I don't know. I just don't want to air dirty laundry and be like, it was resolved. Like it was talked about.
Yeah.
And so I will say that, which I'm very happy we were able to have like an adult conversation about it. You think I'm too...
Guys, no. Guys, it's a no from me.
Anyways, moving on. You know what? This is my last question. So I know that you talked about this is something that constantly stresses me out, especially as someone who likes to think of themselves as eco-conscious. When you're like moving, spring cleaning, my innate feeling is like throw it all away.
Yeah.
Like every piece of like clothing, furniture, I just like want to put it on the curb and never think about it again.
Set it on fire even.
Set it on fire.
Like even let the fumes get up in there.
Like you're really good about I feel like selling things.
Yeah.
But I am like trash it and I feel so guilty every time because I'm like you are a part of the problem. Like this is going in a landfill.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
What do we do? Because I can't keep it in my home.
Donating is really good. Goodwill has a lot of, I know Goodwill has some like business practices that aren't so good, but there are a lot of different like shelters and donation centers that will actually come pick up your stuff. So that's something that you can do, especially with like furniture and stuff. So, and then obviously like selling and on like Facebook Marketplace or Poshmark is something that I do a lot. And I know it's like not as convenient, but it's like, well, neither is climate change. So, but like, even though like in that sense, like, yes, we all have a personal responsibility to do our part, but also it's like, even if we all did our part, like it's really, we're not the sole problem. We're not the biggest problem. So like, don't be like too hard on yourself, but just like, I think being conscious about it at all is something that is worth noting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I'm really, really bad at it. And also we get sent a lot of stuff.
We do get sent a lot of stuff, which I'm trying to get better at, like donating and giving away immediately if I know I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I just like also my family would love it, but it's just then I'm like just like shipping stuff across the country, and
Yeah.
I just like yesterday I went to Goodwill and I dumped clothes that like had tags on them,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I cannot have this taking up space for one more second in
Yeah.
my apartment.
Yeah, and I think also buying like furniture wise, especially like, or even clothing wise, is like, and this is obviously it comes from a point of like privilege being able to buy things like this. But if you can't afford it, what are you looking at?
Oh, I was just like I was listening to you, but I just wasn't here. Had a vision.
If you're able to like invest in like better furniture that'll last longer, which is something that I did for the first time, and it's been really helpful because I don't want to throw everything away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a first.
Washable cushions.
Yes.
Washable rugs.
We love that living spaces couch.
Take off even pillowcases that you can just like
Yeah.
unzip. Saves so much money.
Yeah.
And resources.
And yeah.
But you know what? I feel like we are also from. Did your mom ever have rummage sales?
Not really. I mean, we had a few, but like
Rummage sales were as certain as Christmas to me. Like every summer, my family would gear up for rummage sale like it was their show. Like that was their show that they put on like twice a year, once a year.
yeah.
Everything was. I mean, they spent a week just labeling things. I can see the masking tape.
I can see like the circular like sticker saying like 99 cents.
Oh, see, no, mine was masking tape, and it said like 250 ME, like Marge Ellis, BM, Beth Marshall, and everyone like my mom sold my stuff. See,
Yeah.
and everyone divvied up, and they would spend, I swear to you, an entire workday plus like a week of prep, and my mom would be like, "Yep, made $33."
Rummage sales are fun though. I saw one the other day. I almost stopped by, but like it's COVID.
It's COVID.
So I was like, probably not.
It's just. I don't know. It's just I'm scarred by them because it just took up my whole Saturday as well.
I think it's fun, but I love like that shit.
It is an event. It's just so funny because like here, who has the space for that?
Right.
So if you do find a rummage sale,
Go in LA. You
because
go.
they're rich.
Yeah, they're rich. They got the space. They have a yard. No, they got some good stuff in there. I remember, like, I lost a lot of the times for a Facebook Marketplace. I'll like set the location to like Beverly Hills or like the Hollywood Hills or like just like only the rich areas and just see what I can find.
Yeah. Whoever is at my Goodwill shop is gonna get some nice stuff. I'll tell you that. All right, so that brings us more to the end of our show.
Our show today.
Haley, do you have a recommendation for the week?
I do.
What
I
is
have
it?
been waiting a long time to recommend this, and it is Mrs. America. That's very important. Mrs. America.
I think you already recommended that.
I didn't.
Oh.
I told you about it.
Oh.
I told everyone about it, but them. Mrs. America. It's on Hulu. It's about this Phyllis Schlafly, which is a conservative. She was like a 1970s like conservative powerhouse, and she pretty much mobilized conservatives to get their states to not ratify the ERA. She's like the sole reason why the ERA was never ratified, the Equal Rights Amendment. And it's a really interesting take on that time of like Gloria Steinem and like the feminist revolution, and like it's like kind of like how those two groups of people butted heads, and how it has, and how I can see it playing out in real time in like now. It's really interesting and has a lot of great people in it. I'm surprised it's not being talked about more because there's so many huge female names in that.
I only think of Taylor Swift's documentary when you say Miss Americana.
I didn't say Miss Americana. I said Mrs. America.
Oh, well.
Anyway, you should watch it. It's like there's like 7 episodes. It's just one season, and like that's it.
I will do that when I finish what I'm.
I don't
on.
believe you.
You're right. My recommendation, I don't think I said this last week, is I Care a Lot.
No, you didn't say that.
It's a really, really good film on Netflix, and I thought it was it's about like a guardianship, like basically like what Britney Spears is under, but it's an actual movie, and it's not like a fun like little drama. It's not even a drama. It's just like, maybe it is a drama. It's wild, and it's like an actual like almost suspense thriller drama comedy. There's just so much going on, but it's a really, really good film. It won a lot of awards. I made that up. I don't know if it won awards, but it should. And yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. And it's, if you care like about the Britney Spears movement, it's really fascinating to see how a guardianship can be easily abused and justified in the court system. And it's like a really like conspiracy theory take on it, but like it's crazy how easy it is and how impossible it is to get out of it. So, recommendation for the week is what we just did. What is your intention?
My intention this week is to continue my spring cleaning journey.
How relevant to our conversation?
Like, I need to clean my baseboards so bad.
Oh, baseboards.
Like,
you never see them
so
until
bad.
they are too dusty.
Like, mine are it's just cat hair and
Gross.
soot from the freeway, which I just got a new Dyson and it comes tomorrow. Got a new Dyson air purifier.
She does realize that. She said, and she's learning about carbon emissions and how it's killing us. And she lives next to the 101.
Yes. So I'm dying, and so are my cats.
I
and
literally walked behind your car yesterday and I choked. Like my heart
yeah,
stopped
because
for
it's
a
the
minute.
dust settling in the exhaust of my car.
Yeah.
Because I never drive anywhere besides to your place.
Yeah.
And here, that's it.
You need a golf cart is what you
I
need.
do. I need a little moped.
Like I was just thinking about
I
like,
could
what,
just take a bird.
I was thinking like what car could Haley get? And I was like, what's practical? Like what has a good like if she got an electric car, like what has a good charging network? But I was like, she doesn't go anywhere.
I don't go.
She doesn't need, she literally just needs like a golf cart.
There are some days where my car doesn't like get used for like 4 days. Because I walk everywhere. If I need to go to the store, I walk to Gelson's. I'll like walk to Starbucks.
Just get a bike.
Yeah.
So my intention for the week is it's actually from therapy. I think that's my intention every week is just going to be from therapy. So I know I've said it before. Actually, I wrote down 2, especially for this weekend because Allison's getting here. My therapist said that he wants me to take this weekend and just relax, be a little productive, but most importantly, be kind to myself. So this weekend, I want to be a little kind to myself and not pressure myself to accomplish certain things and kind of just take the days as they happen.
Wow.
Take a slower weekend.
Cute. Love that.
Yeah. Paid $200 for that advice. All right. Well, that brings us to coffee with my.
You sound like a whale.
Coffee with Mike's.